Good morning. I'm Jennifer Torres, and here are today's headlines. Controversy continues to broil around the whistleblower and the alleged claims that the president said something during a call with Ukraine that could be a risk to national security. The White House continues to press with reports about Joe Biden's actions with Ukraine during his time as vice president. A man accused of working for Hezbollah is in court today. He is accused of helping the Islamic Jihad organization with planning and coordinating possible terrorist acts in the United States. The charges against Alexei Saab announced last week. He was arrested in July after months of investigation. Reports say another member of his group who pled guilty to other charges in 2017 has been cooperating with officials. And last night, the Emmys happened. The Dow ended last Friday down about 16 points, starting the day today down about 40, and the S&P also closed down 15 points, trading it slightly down so far this morning. The Nasdaq down by 78 at the end of the week's trading, but up so far this morning. This is That's What She Said. It is Monday, September 23rd, 2019.
Hi.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Hey, that's what she said. That's what she said. Y'all, that is what she said.
That's what she said with Jennifer Torres. Is it Torres or Torres? Uncommon news talk with only half the bias and all of the innuendo. And now your nag of news, your dry box of information, your topic tramp, Jennifer Torres.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I know it's difficult to say happy Monday, but it is happy Monday after all. What's the worst that can happen today? Yes? Hi, I'm Jennifer Torres, and this is That's What She Said. And like always, we want to start our day by calling our good friend Leprechaun. Let's see what kind of awesome things Lep has to say today. Oh, I'm so excited. See what our daily hello is.
Good morning, Mojo 50. It's your daily hello. Happy fall. Today is National Family Day, Autumnal Equinox, National Great American Pot and Pie Day. You know, not like, the green stuff, but vegetables like Swanson used to make.
Oh.
And National Snack Stick Day. Man, that's a mouthful in itself. Like Slim Jims and stuff like that, stuff you take on the go. It's also National Teal Talk Day. That's where you're supposed to wear teal today in honor or in symbolism with women who have ovarian cancer, to bring that to the forefront so everybody can talk about it. It's also National Checkers Day and Dog in Politics. That got started back in the 90s when the Bushes had checkers the dogs. It's also Restless Leg Awareness Day, and the end of the list is Celebrate Bisexuality Day. Yay, Rod. If that happens to be your flavor. The 50-50-90 rule. Anytime you have a 50-50 chance of getting something right, there's a 90% probability that you'll get it wrong. Yep, I'm in that 90%, 100% of the time. Have a good day, all.
All right, Lep. How was your weekend? You did activities there locally, correct? You had your festival going on?
Yes, ma'am. We had Heritage Day Saturday. It was great. All kinds of people, bands. Unfortunately, with everything being as dry as it has been, we didn't get the fireworks this year because of the fire ban. But yeah, the music was great. The crowds were good. I sold a few glow sticks Friday night, not as many Saturday night as I would have liked to.
You're selling glow sticks?
Yeah, I had those glow necklaces that you break and shake up.
Oh, yeah.
Little kids love those. And I also have cups with a imitation ice cube and a swizzle stick in it to glow. That's all right. The Tie-Dye Festival is this weekend.
That should be a big hit.
Party.
Yeah, that should be a big hit.
Oh, yes. Those cups are going to go great with all those people that are... It's like an old hippie fest, the Tie-Dye Festival at Red River, the Red River Tie-Dye Festival in Adams, Tennessee. It's great.
When do you start making up your batches of your leprechaun punch?
Well, actually, I don't mix it as well as my bartender friend at Old Chicago.
Oh, that's fair.
And I will be taking in ingredients this morning with me. So I've got 3 jugs currently mixed up. I figure I'll have her mix me up 1 more jug. That'll give me 2 gallons for 2 days. That should get me through, I hope.
Well, I would say give away a free shot for everyone who makes a purchase. That's going to keep them coming back.
About that. Throwing a shot in the cup. Here you go. Have it glow for you. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would show up just for that if I didn't have things going on. I mean it, though. I would be there if I could.
Every September, if you get a chance next year, feel free to come out. It is one hell of a party. They have 3, 4 stages set up, bands. I think there was 5,000 people at last year's event. It keeps getting bigger every year.
That sounds like fun. We love you. Thank you for our daily hello. You have a great day.
You too, my dear. Peace out. Y'all have a great day.
Awesome. That was our leprechaun with our lovely daily hello, and we appreciate him calling and giving us something to think about. So many things going on today. National Everything, Everything, Everything Day. I got caught on the whole wear teal for ovarian cancer thing. I wasn't aware of that, so I missed out on it. Some may be noticing that the patterned outfit that I'm wearing today, it's one of those really small pinstripes. If you're not watching on video, you should be. Go to mojo50.com, and I'm on Mojo50 TV. You can also catch it on Facebook. For right now, I don't think I'm going to keep doing that forever. I want people to go on to Mojo50 because we got a lot of people that are running on Mojo50 TV. It's really good content, so it's a really good thing to drive people there. But anyway, I'm wearing this crazy pinstripe. And it's one of those things that just kind of with broadcasting, it doesn't work really well. But I kind of did it on purpose because I had heard that there's a certain show host, Izzo, that has an issue with seeing certain things on a screen, certain colors of blue, give him headaches and so forth. So I thought if I wore this, that, maybe I could, if he watches the show today, I'm going to give him a migraine. And that was my goal. I'm going to give Izzo a migraine with my shirts. Everybody send him links. Make sure he's watching. So now, headlines brought to you by... Our lovely headlines today brought to you by Cat Coolers. CatCoolers.com, where they keep your cold stuff cold for up to 7 days, and they're made in the USA with a lifetime guarantee. Love this stuff. So the 88 quart that we keep talking about that you can fit a body in, and you can customize it, UV protected, vinyl lid graphics. Okay? I don't know any place else that you can get something that awesome at that good of a price point. And it also includes holders for your fishing poles. I mean, they thought of everything. Look at that. It's just a good looking cooler, and you can pick different colors, obviously. So we want people to go to catcoolers.com. And if you've already made a purchase from there, you can go back and make another purchase and still use the promo code JENN, JENN, for 10% off. Look at that. Look at that tumbler. That's beautiful. And that thing's going to keep your iced latte cold for up to 7 days. So basically what happens is if the AC's not working in your car while we're still dealing with, it's the beginning of autumn, yay. And it has gotten more comfortable here in Florida. But there are still places like, up in Missouri, back in Chicago, parts of New York, where it's still getting up to 90 degrees. It's climate change. I do believe climate changes. And as it's hot and you get in your car and your AC's broken and then you die of heat exhaustion, but your iced latte in your cat cooler tumbler will remain cold until the cops find your body. There you go. Use promo code JENN, JENN, for 10% off of your order. Was that a happy story? I don't have to be happy all the time. That's what my mommy said. I had family in town this weekend. So I was very, very, very far off of the grid. And it was actually lovely. I did like no posting. I just shared one picture of one of my children. It was a sweet 16 birthday for one of my niece-in-laws, one of my nieces. And they decided to do it here in Florida by the beach. And they decided to do kind of tropical luau theme, multiple colors. Everybody got laid. And my 15-year-old decided to take the lei and make it into a little crown on top of his head. And then they had little umbrellas for everybody's drinks, and he was sticking all of the umbrellas up on his head. Sorry, my spoonie is wiggling. That's making extra noise for you. I apologize. When I wave my hands around, it gets crazy in here. So he's wearing all this crap on top of his head like a crown. And then he kept, and it was, because it was kind of, it was the Hispanic side of the family. It's my husband's side of the family. So it started out, as one of my sons mentioned, started out tropical luau, ended up kind of more like a salsa party, which was great. We provided the equipment for the music and so forth, of course. And then there was lots and lots of drinking and talking about football and talking about bad Chicago politics. And it was really a great time to see all this family that we hadn't seen in a while. So my mother-in-law, beautiful, amazing woman, comes to stay with us. She came into town. What was that? Friday night? Yes. So when I finished here, I had to bolt and get home and get my house as clean as possible before she flew in. Because once again, as I sit here before you, reporting headlines and news and topics that matters in a libertarian voice, I'm still a sandwich maker. So we had to make sure we had dinner, and had to make sure that the house was mopped and swept and cleaned. And then my child decided to blow up the bathroom and flood it in the most disgusting possible way. I thought about going live on, Twitter or YouTube or something, and just sharing with everyone the shit show that is actually legitimately my life when I'm not here. So when jackholes make comments about, ew, I wish I only had to work 1 hour a day. You know what? Suck it. If this were my only gig, just saying, not to mention the amount of minutes of prep that goes into this show before I start. So shit show in the bathroom, looked like a massacre, only with poop instead of blood. Had to get that cleared, had to bleach. And then mother-in-law stays the night. Everything's lovely. She's lovely. And then it was, days of activities with the family. And then come Sunday, she was coming back to our home to be able to spend the night again. And moments before she's going to come in the door to stay with us again, my other son also blows up the bathroom, floods the toilet. And I'm in there with a bucket and bleach all over again, just thinking about how fancy I am. Look at me. I'm so fancy. So, didn't get that one cleaned up until after she showed up. I just basically put an orange cone outside the bathroom door and said, nobody go in there until I've had a chance to fix it. And then after that, the house smelled like chicken stew and bleach, which when they mix together smell a lot like vomit. It was awesome. I had a great weekend. So mother-in-law is now on her flight on her way back to Chicago, as is much of the family. Love them very much. Wish they were all here all the time. And I couldn't be more blessed. I love my husband too, but like his family's the best. And in the process, as Sunday, did anyone watch the Emmys? Yeah, me neither. That big news about the Emmys this morning, it was a big nothing burger. It was pointless. It was rudderless. It was hostless. It was sad. And it was a real shame for the winners. Not that I watch regular network TV at all anymore, so I have absolutely no idea who anyone was that they were talking about. So I don't care. Just started checking out about 2 years ago, like the rest of the United States. I'm still waiting to find out what the ratings were for the big Emmy event. Remembering that last year ratings were their worst ever. Or was that 2017? No, 2018 had said, because 2017 it was down 11%, and then 18 was down more. So yeah. Coming up, I'm going to tell you what kind of exciting things I hear did happen at the Emmys. Right after this.
Hi, I'm Bill Freitas. Are you in need of pro audio equipment? I need it! PA systems, compressors, mics, stands, speakers, custom cabinets, new and previously owned, with affordable payment options. We promise. You need music. Musitec.
M-U-S-I-T-E-C. Musitec.
Call and ask for Frank. With over 20 years experience in the pro AV world, he can help you find the equipment you need. Visit us at musitec.net.
Okay, so something went crazy with the audio. Don't know what happened there. Apologize for that if anybody was offended. I'll do the best I can to move forward and pretend like it didn't happen. So anyway, talking about the Emmys. Ooh, talking about Musitec. You may have noticed that I'm not drinking out of my Mojo 50 cup. I apologize, but this is my Hotel Zamora cup. Hotel Zamora is here on St. Pete Beach, and it's really, really nice. And it's down from the big pink hotel that everybody knows about, the Don Cesar. And it's just catty-corny from it. It's a very nice hotel. Anyway, Musitec has picked them up as a new client, which is really exciting. So we're going to be helping them update, put in new flat screens and projection screens and projectors and working on sound and doing other little projects for them. So that's going to be really exciting. And Francisco may be singing there, doing some performances as well, just because he can't help himself. I love him. Okay, so the Emmys. They came on right after the Bucks managed to lose their game against the New York Giants, in which they had been leading for the entire game. The only reason anyone watched, if they did watch, was for the Game of Thrones, was to see if, are they going to win? Are they going to win? Are they going to win another Emmy? Really? And the other thing, what would they wear? Ooh, what did the Game of Thrones cast look like in contemporary clothing? Really? So the comments during the Emmys, like Trump was mentioned, but he wasn't mentioned by name by, a crew. There were comments about creating better workplaces for women. And there was also a plea made by someone for transgender rights. And I know these things by reading the Los Angeles Times, because I, again, like many of you and most of America, were not watching and have no interest in watching ever again. Not until Hollywood stops preaching to us. The privileged people telling the underprivileged that we are all racist and privileged, it does not go over well in society in general. So, again, still really looking forward to seeing those ratings. As far as ratings go, here's another rating that was interesting. A Fox News poll. All right, so this came out last week. 59% of America is extremely interested in this election. Well, that's a really good thing. Democrats right now more interested than Republicans. Of course they are. They're in the middle of trying to figure out who their candidate is going to be. And I think that's going to shift as Democrats finally pick that candidate. And once the debates start between that person and Trump, Republicans are going to go nuts. We're going to respond in kind. We are going to be all over this election. Right now it's kind of, unless somebody says something stupid, and then our little ears perk up. The current numbers, according to this Fox poll, I said poll, should show that all of the top Democrat presidential candidates have higher possibilities of beating Trump, including Kamala Harris, who polled, it said 42% think that she would win, and Trump, he was pretty much consistently at 40%. So 2% difference, Kamala beating Trump by 2%, but that's with a 3% margin of error. And I can't help but think we do not need to get concerned about polls at this point. We need to see who the final candidate is going to be for the Dems and how the numbers fall one-on-one. We also need to know, we know how elusive polling is, or it has been, and was revealed to us in 2016. And here's why. In that same poll, pollsters asked, will Trump be reelected in 2020? 46% said yes, with only 40% saying no. So how is it that so many of the same people, 46% saying Warren's going to beat Trump, 52% saying Biden's going to beat Trump, 48% saying Sanders is going to beat Trump, how do those same people say that Trump will be reelected? Polling's broken. So when people pop those, polls now are for headlines. So we do this poll and, we make our necessary phone calls or whatever, and we get somebody to answer, because I know most conservatives, libertarians, contrarians, if we get that phone call, if we do actually answer the phone, because most of us are busy, we have jobs. We're not the retired or the consistently unemployed. We are underemployed, but not all unemployed. We don't answer the phone. So it's difficult for pollsters to get people. And they try to get people to go online and fill out polls, but frankly, it takes too long. And they got constant ads mixed up with these polls. Have you seen the polls that the radio stations do? What a waste of time. Find out whether or not I think that they've overplayed the last Miley Cyrus song. Just tell yourselves yes. The answer is always yes on that. So, polling is whack. It's crazy. It doesn't work right anymore. We know what happened before. And you get the wrong people to answer these polls. So, you're getting inconsistent results from what's actually going to happen when people go to vote. Now, is it possible? Because again, anytime they do these polls, number one, it's a really great headline. So, it's going to get clicks. People are like, all of the Democrats could possibly beat Trump, according to polls. I'm going to read this. I need to see what's going on here. This bothers me. But then the other thing is that going to keep us motivated? For those of us who think any Democratic candidate up against Trump it's just a no contest. We have to vote for Trump. Do we have a better option? And that's what elections have been for decades. Do we have a better option? No. So, will polls and headlines telling us that polls say, please drink every time I say poll, saying that Trump could lose to any of the top contenders, will that motivate us to get more involved and care more about the election? Again, do your absentee ballot. Do your mail-in ballot. We know you're busy. Everybody needs to be involved. Everybody needs to have a voice, and you do not get to bitch if you didn't participate. There are no participation medals on this one. In the meantime, the whistleblower controversy continues to swirl around the toilet bowl that is D.C. I think that this entire thing has truly backfired on the Democrats and on Adam Schiff. So, whistleblower reports to the DOJ. They have concerns, something that they heard, right? Adam Schiff in Congress, he pops out and he says, I don't know, somehow this information ended up in the newspaper that there had been a whistleblower, and then Schiff hits the cameras saying that there's a whistleblower and we really, really care about national security and that we have to make sure that this whistleblower is protected and we're going to do our part. But the whole idea being, as we know, that it's just another bad narrative that they're trying to push out there about the president when the whole performance with the House impeachment proceedings went sideways. Nobody was impressed by that. It did not poll well, again with polls, after that came out. So I'm going to tell you what I think is really going on with Adam Schiff and what's really going on with our whistleblower. We're going to see what's going to happen with that. I'm super curious, but I'm kind of afraid for this whistleblower right now. Because frankly, we don't know what lengths Democrats are willing to go to try and make Trump look bad. Just saying. Coming up, more stuff and things here on That's What She Said with Jennifer Torres. make sure that you go to Mojo 50 TV to see me live.
That's what she said.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
The entrepreneurial spirit is to dream and to do. We are building America.
I'll give you 5 minutes on the air. Tell me what you love. Tell me about what you do. Tell me about your product, your services. I'm Jennifer Torres, and this is That's What She Said, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, Monday through Friday.
Building America.
Contact me, Jen at uncommontalkradio.com.
Mojo 50.
I love my entrepreneurs.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252.
Hi.
Uncommon news talk with only half the bias. That's what she said with Jennifer Torres.
Hey, y'all. I got something weird going on with my audio. I apologize. Well, only a little bit. I know it's mildly annoying. You will deal with it. Again, this is That's What She Said. I am Jennifer Torres, and you can find more about me by going to, let's see if I can pull it up here for you, by going to Mojo50, mojo50.com. Why would you do that? Because while you're there, you can register for free. And when you register for free, you have access to Mojo 50 TV. It is worth it. You can also go to my website, uncommontalkradio.com. Make sure you email me, Jen at uncommontalkradio.com, if you have anyone with a small business or charity that they might want to be highlighted on the show for free, as we do our part to help build America through building up small businesses. Also, really excited. It happened over the weekend. This is one of the few things that I did take care of on Friday when I wasn't cleaning house. That's What She Said is now showing up on iHeart. So for many of you listening to me on iHeart right now during the streaming for Mojo 50, and you're like, okay, I can hear you right now. I don't understand. What's the big deal? Well, some people miss the show. They're sleeping because they worked a late shift, or, you know, they have a life. They're at work and can't listen at this time because it's not their lunch break yet. They'll get fired. They have my crap on the air. So they like to check up on the show later and listen to the show later. And previously, although there were a lot of choices, when you have Spreaker and you have iTunes and other resources, Stitcher, that you can go to, that you can hear older episodes of the show for whatever reason. Now you can find the podcast on iHeart. So I feel legitimate. That's all it takes. I'm on Facebook, Jennifer Torres, and That's What She Said. I'm on Twitter at Al Percolo, at TWSS on Mojo 50. TWSS on Mojo 50. I don't know why I picked that. I just did. I'm on Parler, at It's Time for the Percolator. I'm on MeWe. many people listening to the rerun of the morning show this morning, 8 o'clock, and it was great to hear the guys talking about MeWe as a fantastic alternative platform for Facebook. Eventually, Facebook is not going to run the world. There's constant controversy swirling around them. I just saw a news story about how one of their employees committed suicide by jumping from the roof of the building. Oh, yeah. Everybody ran for their safe spaces. That's very upsetting. I'm verklempt. So you get to the MeWe, and you can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. So I call myself, it's time for the percolator. I'm drinking my half-calf decaf espresso. It's what I do. That's actually, the percolator was a percolator. That was a nickname given to me in junior high by my art coach, who was also the football coach. Anyway, find me on MeWe. Find my group. That's what she said. Go in, have conversations with the fun people there. Hi, fun people. I see you. They're mad because I don't say their names on air anymore. It's a different show. Okay. So this segment brought to you by, drumroll please, Combat Flip Flops. CombatFlipFlops.com. When you go to the Combat Flip Flops, you just think to yourself, how are any kind of flip flop for combat? They're not. And that's kind of the tongue-in-cheek point of it, isn't it? It's a veteran-owned American company, and these gentlemen, as I like to so often remind you, but we have new listeners every day. These gentlemen served in other war-torn nations, like Afghanistan, and they're trying to give back to those countries to help them rebuild and also to build peace through trade. If you have commerce, if you have jobs, if you have money, you have hope. And they're also giving a portion of the sales from their flip-flops to go toward educating young women in Afghanistan. The idea being that if the young mothers in that country understand the importance of education, then their young sons will grow up to also understand the importance of education. And education is the best way to fight radicalism and to fight that lack of hope that leads to going crazy and doing bad things. So go to combatflipflops.com. First time purchase, use the promo code SENSE25, SENSE25, and that's going to get you 25% off of your entire purchase, which is fabulous. And now we talk about the Trek Federation and our good friend Russ. And I know Russ has been through a bit over the weekend. Lost a compadre. And Odyssey won. So we're going to focus on the positive. Okay. So Tropical Storm Imelda has wrapped up and has finished its damage in Texas. Tropical Storm Jerry headed out into the Atlantic. No threat at all now. Tropical Storm Karen has just been named and is slated to currently hit the Virgin Islands and possibly Puerto Rico. After that, there's Tropical Depression number 13. That's a bad sign. Number 13. But we don't have to make bigger news out of potential disasters when there are things happening each and every day, which in each community, which require us to all come together and support each other. And one of the best ways to do that is to go through the Trek Federation. TrekFederation.com. All the money and supplies goes to help those who need it around the world. So reach out to them and to Russ and see how you can help. Because we're helpers. That's what we do. So, talking about whistleblowers. Here's my understanding. Whistleblower goes to the DOJ and says, oh, I heard this conversation with Trump and the Ukraine, and he said something that made me very uncomfortable. And he was talking to the Ukraine, and it made me uncomfortable. And then the news hit. Somebody leaked it, that there was a whistleblower that was concerned about our national security. And then Adam Schiff ran in front of the microphones and said, there's a whistleblower, and we're concerned about the whistleblower's safety and our national security. And I think that this entire thing at current is completely not working out the way they thought it was going to. Everyone now talking about and focusing on, did Biden or didn't Biden exchange, United States money for getting a prosecutor fired in the Ukraine who was looking into the Ukrainian company that his son, Hunter Biden, worked for. So these dealings all happened in like 2015 and 2016. So Biden comes out yesterday and says, oh, the president says isn't true, and I didn't even speak to my son then. All right. So that whole time, another 2 years, he didn't talk to his son. Really? No one believes this. And then you've got Giuliani. He is ripping up the cable news networks. Anybody that'll have him on now. You can't keep Biden out of your mouth when you're talking about Trump's whistleblower issue. The only way that the Dems can actually get this back on their side to actually help in convicting Trump, help in the impeachment effort, is to have the whistleblower killed. The Democrats do that. Okay, somebody make sure that you're safe whenever you take that audio bite. I'm not saying do it. I'm saying I'm scared for this person from the Democrats. Then everyone, and you think about it, if anything happens to this whistleblower, everyone's going to say it was Trump that did it. And then we're not going to find out what it was that the whistleblower was actually blowing the whistle on until after the election. And then we'll find out that it was a bunch of nothing. And there was no reason for him to be under threat. But the damage would already have been done before the election. It's the problem with this 24-hour media news cycle, and it's screwing up my day. In the meantime, in Iowa polls, Biden has slipped behind Elizabeth Warren. And I bet it's very uncomfortable for her right now. He is sniffing from right behind her right now as we speak. How does this happen? Elizabeth Warren, really? For me, I'm thinking there are, out of everyone? I mean, I suppose Warren more likely than Bernie, but more likely than Kamala or Beta? It's an interesting sign of the times, but this is just Iowa, and it was just a most recent poll. And again, we don't know what to think about polling. But in the meantime, that means everyone is heavy on the attack on Warren. So now, because she turned over all of her tax records, like, I have nothing to hide. Trump should turn all his stuff over, too, that had nothing to do with the election. I turned my last 8 years of tax returns over. Okay. So now they're starting to dig deep because Warren is now actually a threat. And it's not just the Republicans looking into her. It's the Democrats looking into her as well who don't want her. So now we're getting deeper into the conversation of Pocahontas claiming that she's, is she 164th Indian? Is she 1024th Indian? How did she benefit from claiming to be American Indian? All of the places that she worked and went to school, calling her their first woman of color. Just the ridiculousness of that entire story. And then there's her money. $50,000 in clothes donated one year. Is it even possible, even with Melania's closet, to donate $50,000 worth of used clothing to a charity and to write it off on your taxes? I just, there are things. But the heat is on for Warren because now she's in the spotlight. She's had one poll showing her ahead of Biden. And now now we know the spotlight's going to close in on her. Something else that happened over the weekend that really annoyed the fabibble out of me. Democrats are calling for the resignation of HUD Director Ben Carson because he made controversial comments about transgender people to a HUD meeting in California. So I could play the audio for this, but honestly, we know that Ben Carson, when he speaks, he's very milquetoast. Bless his heart. The reason why he didn't have a shot as president, even though I supported him, totally did. Ben apparently sent out an email, and his point was dealing with women's homeless shelters. So stick with me on this, women. Women's homeless shelters, and you have transgender men who are in the process of becoming women, or homeless men who are dressing like women, but they haven't even started a process of becoming a trans anything. The transvestites, basically saying that they should be able to go to the women's shelter. Now, I can understand for a homeless man or a man that's under threat by a boyfriend or a husband preferring to be in a women's shelter. But women's shelters, in the imagination, it is a kinder, gentler place than going to an all-men's shelter. But I promise you, going to a shelter of any kind is dangerous. Men or women. There are people in those places, while they themselves may be threatened or under duress or in a bad situation that leads them there, other people that are in there, dregs of society, they will steal from you in a heartbeat. Everybody has responsibilities, especially in women's shelters. You're supposed to chip in. Guess what? Good luck getting certain people to help out. I'll talk more about that in a minute.
Hi, I'm Bill Freitas. Are you in need of pro audio equipment?
I need it!
PA systems, compressors, mics, stands, speakers, custom cabinets, new and previously owned, with affordable payment options. We promise. You need Musitec. 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 Call and ask for Frank. With over 20 years experience in the pro AV world, he can help you find the equipment you need. Visit us at musitec.net.
All right. So, talking about men's and women's shelters. Now, we hear stories about, and it's even true for whenever there's a storm, like, we have hurricane coming through here in the Florida, and they're like, hey, we've got shelters set up for people. People don't want to go because you have everybody there. And while 97% of the people there may be fabulous, wonderful, loving human beings, all it takes is the other 3% who don't care. And you worry about child molesters, and you worry about thieves. You worry about drugs in the facilities. So when we're talking about men's and women's shelters specifically, and in California, I can't even imagine. So you have these men who are saying that they're transgender and they want to go to a women's shelter where women are supposed to be kept safe. I can see the situation where a woman who's going through an abusive situation would not go to a battered women's shelter if she knows that some dude can be up in there. So everybody claimed, and this was the point that Carson was making, okay? He was saying that it's not a difference between men and it's not a difference between women. Everyone has equal rights, but what he's saying is one specific group does not deserve special rights. You're not special. You're not above everybody else. We shouldn't have to change all the rules for you. Everybody's the same. So some of the people, some of the HUD staffers were shocked and upset by him making some kind of comment about big hairy men. And it's true. We've seen them. Bam! Walk up in there with a wiener. I'm trans. And I need to be specially catered to and go to the women's shelter, which is, and they are cleaner, lighter, fluffier than men's shelters. But shelters are what shelters are. And they're rough. There are some that I'm sure are very nice. I'm personally in this area have not seen or experienced them. And yes, at one point in my life, I did need to go to a shelter. We won't get into the details on that one. But let's just say that, there were some really crappy people there as far as women goes. It was not a big hug fest full of women's love for each other. Either kind of love. So things that I missed out talking about Friday. There are some Florida man stories. Florida couple stories, Florida woman stories. And I want to be, again, I want to be fair. We always talk about Florida man. So I decided to look up Florida woman. And what happens? These Florida woman stories, very dark. I mean, we messed up. Woman accused of leaving her 3-year-old daughter in a car while working at a strip club. Oh, that old chestnut. Florida mother arrested this week after police say she left her 3-year-old daughter in the car for hours while she worked this strip club. I'm sorry, you don't understand. You make good money at a strip club, which means you do not qualify for the state to help cover the cost of your child care. What is she supposed to do? If she doesn't have somebody that she can, if the babysitter cancels, what are you supposed to do? She would also have gotten in trouble if she'd taken her child inside the strip club and exposed her to what mama does. So this poor woman out of Miami, charged with child neglect. They found the 3-year-old wandering the parking lot. That's the problem. She forgot to crack the window and lock the doors. She didn't do it right. Police arrived at the scene at 2 a.m. after someone had spotted the child in tears roaming around the strip club parking lot. Okay, so there's that Florida woman story. Florida middle school teacher found guilty of selling drugs to her students, court records say. Former middle school teacher found guilty of selling illegal drugs to 2 of her students. And this was in Hendry County. I don't have any idea where this is. But this woman, Maria Rivera, guilty of numerous charges, including drug possession, selling within 1,000 feet of a school, and contributing to the delinquency of some minors. Now, I will say, having been in contact with our good friend, Mr. Bill Furtatis, who is doing everything that he can to save the future of America, he has now determined that there will, in fact, be some children left behind. And perhaps Ms. Rivera hit that point in her life when she realized that there was nothing she could do to stop them from being delinquent, so she might as well make money off of it. She's a smart woman. Just being a business lady. So the investigation has determined that Rivera took money from a student and promised to deliver drugs the next day, and then I guess the student ratted her out. Snitches get stitches. She was arrested. Authorities intercepted her vehicle as she was driving off the school grounds with the student. Whoop! She had to post a $100,000 bond. That seems a bit excessive. It's because she's a woman. So, Florida man stories. Florida man stabs girlfriend to death live on FaceTime. Do you think they caught him? Yeah. Florida man accused of stabbing his girlfriend to death called her father over FaceTime as she lay dying on the floor. Man, this is dark. This is in Marion County. They were called to the address by a member of the victim's family. They were concerned about her well-being, and they found her body. According to the court documents, while Clark was stabbing his victim, he and the girl's father had a strange conversation over FaceTime. During the call, the guy claimed that she had a knife, and she is alleged to have called back, "I don't He has the knife. Okay, so, The father is said to have seen his daughter lying in a pool of blood on the ground. Clark is also alleged to have asked for advice about what he should do next. Hey, father-in-law, I done stabbed her. We're on FaceTime right now. What do you think I should do? And after stabbing her and she died, and then he ran off with the 1-year-old baby, which triggered an Amber Alert all around the area here. But he finally handed the child over to her family. Apparently, he, after he dropped the child off, he then broke into somebody else's home, stole some items, and then tried to set the house on fire. And he later suffered some severe burns when he tried to set himself on fire while sitting in his car. He was taken to a Miami hospital. Okay. So can we say, while this gentleman apparently did not have access to a gun, he had a mental break? I'm going to tell you right now, it's because of bad diet. And all these people that say it's genetics, it's not genetics. When your family is used, your grandmama cooks a certain way, and then your mama's cooking a certain way, and then you're eating a certain way, and that starts to affect you. He's not getting enough prebiotics. I'm just telling you. This man lost his mind. But I did find one Florida man story that I figured you would all appreciate. Florida couple had sex inside a patrol car after they were arrested for riding bicycles while drunk. Hey. Now, I do want you to see, apparently there was a bicycle accident involved. Let me see if I can pull this picture up. This is too good. Okay, so here's the dude, right? Aaron Seth Thomas. I know Aaron Thomas. Wow, that's cool. It's not him, though. And here she is. Can you see this? Bob, Bob, Bob! She must have crashed hard. She ate so much sidewalk with her face. That is not pretty. So, according to reports, you know how they say, they were riding their bicycles while intoxicated. They were spotted narrowly avoiding being hit by a car, and when they were riding their bikes across the road in Fernando Beach. This is in Nassau County. One of their bikes didn't have lights. The other one only had a headlight. Plus, the couple had been drinking. Why are they riding bikes? Is it because they care about the world, they care about the planet, or is it because they both lost their driver's license because they're drunks? We'll never know, probably. And in addition to that, the gentleman had 7 cans of beer in his backpack. So they were ready to continue the party. After failing sobriety tests and being arrested, they were placed inside the deputy's vehicle for transport to jail, the report said. Then the couple started removing their clothing and engaging in sex. There you go. So the cops, unfortunately, did not have a spray bottle of ice water with him, so they're trying to pull Thomas, the guy, they're trying to pull him out of the car, uninsert. But the suspect allegedly shoved the deputy to the ground and then ran off naked. He was later caught behind an ice cream store. And they figured out that they probably shouldn't have put the two in the back of the car together. They brought another car. They put the girl in another car. So dude's been charged with lewd and lascivious exhibition, threats against public officials, attempted escape, resisting arrest, theft, and exposing his sexual organs. The girl charged with an unnatural or lascivious act. I wonder what position they were using in the back of that car. I mean, there's only so much a girl can do. So there you go. Happy Monday, everybody. I think that everyone should be in a better mood now. And if you aren't, you suck. Keep listening to Mojo 50, won't you? I have no idea what comes on after me. But I will see you tomorrow. This is Jennifer Torres. This is That's What She Said. Happy Monday, y'all.
That's what she said. Every news story comes with a happy ending.
Graduation parties,
Bar mitzvahs,
weddings, it's all coming up fast. Have you found the entertainment yet? You need a DJ, a KJ, or an MC with experience, quality equipment, and a killer playlist. You need the World of Audiovisual Event Services. Waves. Visit Musitec.net and book your Waves entertainment now. Waves.
Fuse AV, the fusion of today's technology with custom design. Ease your business into the 21st century while retaining your company's style and branding. We custom design audiovisual solutions for businesses big and small. You'll be so successful your wife will finally quit her job and make sandwiches like she's supposed to. Ow! Educated in sound engineering with decades of experience, visit Musitec.net.
Visit Musitec.net for more information about Fuse AV.